Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Gamers Roundtable, where we are gamers talking about games. This is episode 41. This is going to be our pre-E3 show. This is us talking about what we expect to see at E3 and what we already know this week. Today, joining me, we have myself, LeafX, and down at the end, we have Charles. Say hello, Charles.
Hello.
How was life today on this wonderful, windy afternoon?
Um, Wind Waker.
Say what?
Yeah, I bought a console.
Say
Oh
what?
yeah. What'd you get there, Charles? What'd you get?
I got the Wii U.
Look at that. You finally now what compelled you to finally get one at this time?
Because it's the Wii U with Wind Waker, and I found it for 300. So cheaper than what you would normally buy it for.
Now, did you also pick up Mario Kart?
Oh no, definitely not. I'll pick it up later.
Oh no.
Wait. Did you buy it only because it was cheap, or because you've been looking to get one for a while?
I bought one because I was, baited in by the Lenovo bait and switch, and I'm just like, I'm upset that I'm getting a refund for a cheap laptop, so I'm going to buy a console. Logic.
Fair enough. Yeah. That makes sense. And next to him, we have Manny joining us. Hello, Manny.
Hey, how's it going?
How you been?
Live in Los
You've
Angeles.
been extremely busy lately because of what's coming up.
Brody, where are you live from?
I'm live from actually a pub. I'm going to show you around if you're joining us in the not on iTunes yet, 'cause we're on iTunes now, but if you're just joining on the Google Plus Hangout, you can see I'm in a pub throwing a video game night. We're doing this every week now, so Charles, you should come join us sometime. So I apologize if there's any background noise. I have my mic sensitivity turned down very low, and I'm sitting slouched over so that I can be as close to it as possible, as you can see right here. So I apologize for any noise there. Yeah, let's before we get into all of our expectations, we're going to go through, obviously the big three, and then some of the developers themselves and any of the other areas we want to talk about and other news that has intrigued us. But before we do that, let's talk about if there's any interesting games you guys have been playing this week. Charles, I guess since Manny just stepped away from the mic, if you want to just let us know what you've been playing this week. I think you may have answered it, but if there's anything else, let us know.
Oh, I was playing Wind Waker. I'm to the second dungeon right now. Well, the second dungeon after the first dungeon. So I'm getting the Feyor's orb in the Lost Woods. I also played through my required play of Dead Space 2. Finished Chapter 7.
I'm glad someone did.
Hey,
I'm glad someone did the required readings.
if you guys don't know, we started a game club and we're playing through Dead Space 2, so you guys could actually play through with us as well. But usually after our podcast, we'll be doing the game club section, so you guys can actually listen to us discuss how we played through it and how it was different from each other.
But somebody didn't finish it.
Dead Space 2, I slacked this week. I was extremely busy, out of town, lots of meetings and stuff. And so unfortunately, I was going to stay up last night and finish. I was just not going to sleep last night, but I decided it was probably best that on a day like today we didn't do it. We waited till after E3. But yeah, Dead Space 2 is the one that we're playing. So if you want to join along, go back to Gamers Roundtable show on YouTube, and you can see our first episode. And now we're playing through chapters. What is that? It's 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Yeah.
So if you want to catch up, we're not going to do one next week because it'll fall during E3, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty to talk about between the press conferences and the first 2 days of the show. So you have the next 2 weeks to catch up if you want to. So chapter 1, and then finish up 7 all the way, and then once you see chapter 8, stop, and then we'll discuss it all together.
Yeah, there's a save point shortly after the chapter 8 starts, so you don't get to spoil much of chapter 8. But Brody, how come you couldn't finish it? The game's practically a rail shooter.
This guy. No, it's just it's the time. And honestly, the only times I was actually at home was about 2 in the morning the entire week. Just a lot of the stuff with the Let's Play KW stuff. I've been meeting a lot of people on that. Plus trying to work 50 plus hours a week. Gets a little tedious. But it's not that I didn't want to play it. It's just that I didn't honestly have the time this week. But I will have it done for the next time, so don't you worry about that.
Okay. And the last game I was playing was Ingress, of course.
Of course,
We went to we did a field trip to go to Toronto. We were on the Toronto Islands for like 5 hours, biking around on quadricycles.
That sounds fun. That sounds pretty ballin', actually.
Got to meet a whole bunch of people in the region. It was great.
That's why I like that game. It gets you out and about and meeting new people. So, oot in a boot.
Out in a boot. Wait, oot in a boot in a boot.
Oot in a boot in a boot.
Oh, Eric's joining us in a sec.
But sorry, I had a question about Wind Waker. Now, as you guys know, I'm not a super fan. I'm not saying they're bad games, but I've never been.
No, man, you don't have to justify it. Some people don't like watching HBO original dramas. Some people think it's the best thing on earth.
Just call Dead Space 2 a rail shooter.
Yeah,
Feel free to just rail on the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Which is ironic because the Dead Space franchise actually has a rail shooter, which is actually really good.
I know.
It's funny, but my question was that I've looked at Wind Waker and I've always kind of been intrigued about it. Now, is that someone who's in my position? If I were to just play Wind Waker without anything else,
let me tell this
is that a
to
good
you,
idea?
as someone who played the original back when it first came out, the version that he's playing is significantly better. They've improved the sailing, they made it faster, they made it smoother, they fixed a lot of problems. It looks better. If you have a Wii U and you're interested in a Zelda game that's not your standard Zelda, it's a little off-center, it's a little quirky, and you like the notion of sailing, jumping on different islands, exploring. You love the cel-shaded look. There's a lot of reasons to like Wind Waker. Even if you're not a fan of the rest of the series or the rest of the titles in the franchise, there's enough that's different and unique to this one, be it the art style or the mechanic for getting around, that it's worth checking out.
It's also got really buttery smooth combat for being a Legend of Zelda game too.
Yeah, because I do have a Wii U, so I've been looking to maybe expand the library of that a little bit.
Let me put it this way: if you can get it on the cheap, you have like no reason not to try it out. It's legitimately a good game that still holds up because they made the smart choice of not going realistic like they did with Twilight Princess. They went as stylized as they possibly could, and those graphics still look good. They really do. They look better than some games coming out today. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Now, just to either side there, just so they're not waiting, a couple. Questions. I don't know if Pikun, she says, I'm taking a break from WildStar for this. I'm not sure if that was for Wind Waker or Mario Kart there.
Taking a break from WildStar for the podcast.
Wait, I don't understand. Wait, you mean taking a break as in I still can't log in?
Uh-oh. Shots fired.
Wait, Brody, you never explained. Did you explain what all that noise in the background is?
Today?
Yeah, where are you?
Yes, I did explain.
Where specifically are you?
Oh,
so
I was writing.
Specifically, I'm at Jack Burger downtown, Kitchener. So if you're ever in the area, come by and play some games. We have Smash Brothers each week. I got Street Fighter set up and the new Mario Kart 8. So if you guys want to come by.
Man, look at you. You're a busy little bee.
Yeah, just running around. And now Jace at the side says, can I join? Now, if you're talking about joining Jack Burger, for sure. But if you want to join into the podcast, start.
I will say this: yes, you can send your questions to us, and we will answer them, and you will be an active participant in the show.
Exactly. If we can't let you in at this point, but yeah, if you want to join in per se in conversation, leave your questions, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. And
you Canadians, look at what she said. What Mike said. Never had issues logging in. What is with you Canadians and not having problems with your servers? I hate you.
It's just, ironically, even though our internet's not as good, we just never have issues with our servers. Uplay works great for me, and look at her.
Man, it's funny. I follow so many games press, and it's like, and because when you follow like multiple people, they have like conversations between each other, and I can't even tell you how many like 10 reply deep conversations have been about like, oh, you play's garbage. I can't believe it. Makes just. Like that's all my feed is how
you know we might have 120 ping, but at least we have a stable connection.
I think Ubisoft is biased.
Yeah, it's just because we're close to them, right?
Ubisoft is biased.
We are
Ubi or not Ubi. You guys remember that from the press conference?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
When they tried to when they were joking about how to pronounce it.
Now, Manny, I'm assuming you haven't had much time to play this week, but if so, have you found any interesting games to play this week?
I have not. I got. I need to try out Dragon Quest on iOS, which just recently came out. It's a version of the. It's not the American version that we got with the full voice acting and the full orchestral score. It's based on the Japanese version with the more simplified menus, with the worst soundtrack and no voice acting. And it's strangely enough, the entire game is played only in portrait mode. Unfortunately, I've been really busy, so I hadn't had much time to dive into it. But I need to spend some time with that and get into it. And there's some stuff I can talk about in the news when we hit that up that
Perfect.
I've been
Awesome.
to. And finally, I went on a boat, and that's all.
On a boot.
I did a
So,
harbor tour. I got to see some awesome giant container ships that were essentially buildings laid on their
oh yeah,
side.
because you really like the container ships, like that's.
I like all kinds of stuff. I love sailing. I love boats. I love tanks. I love aviation. I love history.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, what do we really know about each other other than video games? you know.
Sure. Well, I'm just saying, I know you know a hell of a lot more than I do about container ships.
If you want to see my pictures from I posted a few to Instagram. It's Instagram.com/LA Horizon, LA Horizon, like the horizon.
Yeah.
And I have pictures of that, my harbor tour along the port of Long Beach, but also I have some pictures from the offices of CD Projekt Red.
Oh, nice. Actually, is that your Instagram there then?
Yeah, that is my personal Instagram, and I'm teasing it now. But if you guys want to see what the Witcher 3 Collector's Edition looks like, check out my pictures.
All right.
Oh
So
yeah, I
it's,
see that. Looks
in case anybody
amazing.
definitely wants to check that out, because I know I do, is again, it's LA Horizon.
Oh, and
On
we get to see the
Instagram.
squirrel too.
Yeah, the squirrel,
The
the
famous
squirrel's
squirrel.
always attacking. That's
There's
awesome.
the famous squirrel. You're right.
That's awesome. And then as for myself, again, I haven't been doing too much of the same thing. I was out in Guelph and then Toronto, doing some stuff. So I was hanging out in Toronto by the waterside as well, just yesterday. Um, but yeah, I haven't been able to play too many games, but I'm looking forward to playing some Dead Space soon if I can. Um, so let's get over to kind of our discussion topics. Actually, sorry, at the side there, Jace has another question about NBA 2K15, but I think sorry, Eric is going to be joining us soon, and he'll be our guy to answer that. Uh, and so we're gonna wait there, Jace, until Eric joins in on this conversation in probably the next, hopefully, 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll get to your question, just so you don't think we're ignoring you there.
Yeah, that's why we have Eric around. That's why we have Eric around after all, right?
Eric's our sports guy for sure. I think as I said, the only sports game I play is maybe NHL 14. And as I learned from my recent tournament, I'm not that good at it. Me and my teammate went 0-5 in our entire Swiss.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Wait.
At least we're
This isn't golf,
consistent.
right?
No, this is NHL.
Oh, I thought they were the same thing.
Nope. Um, so until he gets in here, let's move on to just kind of I guess our E3 discussion. Now I don't know if you guys want to get right into what we expect from each developer. If there's any news pieces first you want to throw out, um, but we can get into what we're expecting from each company that we're excited to see. I guess we'll start it off. I'll throw it out since we're talking about the Wii U a lot already. We'll talk about Nintendo and what Nintendo is doing this year at E3. Um, I know personally for me, I'm excited to see some stuff on Smash Brothers. As you guys know, I'm a big advocate for Smash Brothers, as a lot of people behind me right now are. Um, and that we're also going to be hopefully seeing a GameCube Virtual Console onto the Wii U. Is one of the things that we've got rumored for that, plus a 3DS release in the next month of Smash 4, and then in December for the next Smash. I don't know if there's any games off. If you guys seen that speculative list that I showed you guys last week of what games are coming out, if there's anything you're super excited. I know Charles, you mentioned something about the Dynasty Warriors Zelda there.
I'll have to actually take a look at it because I honestly don't even know what Dynasty Warriors is, and I think that makes me a bad video gamer.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it does not, because no, there's only there's a very specific group of people who play Dynasty Warriors games at this point.
And if you wanna feel comfy with your not knowing Dynasty Warriors. I know what it is, but I've never really seen too much besides like a 5-minute gameplay trailer, and
Let me
that's
put it
it.
this way: the time when mainstream gamers were playing Dynasty Warriors was back when the PS2 first launched, and it was like one of the only titles there. And maybe Dynasty Warriors, it was like Dynasty Warriors like 2, and then maybe 3, and now we're like at 9 or 10, and I don't think anyone. Not only that, it's like 8, and then it'd be like Dynasty Warriors Extreme, Dynasty Warrior Extreme Legends, Dynasty Warrior Empires Extreme Legends XL. That'll be like
Yeah.
one release, and then they'll move on to the next one. So, believe a lot of people fell off that horse a long time ago and never just wanted to hop back on.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And at the side, just I guess it kind of falls into what we're talking about. Jace says, "What games or games do you like coming out?" I'm assuming that's coming out. I guess that's kind of what we're talking about in the sense here of what we're expecting to come out in the
What
next year or so.
what I really expect from Nintendo are two things. Is that I expect them to, or actually, what I'm most curious about too is whatever their fitness hardware turns out to be. I
Oh
think they
yeah,
want to
'cause-
recapture that magic that they had with the Wii Fit, but not be dependent on their crappy Wii U sales. So, I mean, people said, why is Nintendo doing this? Well, because they want to make Wii Fit money again, but they realize they can't attach the Wii Fit to the Wii U or they won't sell it at all.
Yeah,
So they just,
and here's along the same lines as recently we saw too, Nintendo showed that GameCube controller USB adapter to plug your GameCube controllers into the Wii U, which is huge for again a lot of the Smash guys that are still using the GameCube controllers. But I'm excited that they're finally listening to what the fans are wanting. But it's the idea that you're releasing a peripheral. Someone once said to me, they're like, why didn't they just release the Wii U with GameCube ports in it? And to that I said, you're gonna end up raising the cost of the system. You're gonna force people, to buy something they may not use. Whereas with the same with the fitness thing, is that you're now not forcing someone to buy something they don't want, and it's a lot easier for them to go to the store, pick up this Wii or the Wii Fit board when they don't have to buy another console with it.
yeah, like I can imagine. Well, the reason why Wii Fit worked last time is because the Wii was so ubiquitous. So many people bought it for Wii Sports or had it in their nursing home or whatever it was. You know, the story, the magical story at the rec center. So many people had it that the idea of selling a fitness thing aimed at the people who loved Wii Sports was a no-brainer. But it's definitely not. We're not in that scenario anymore.
No, exactly, and I hope to see again. It was what we've heard is called Project Fusion. I guess is their next device or their hardware. Um, that's supposed to be coming out, and I presume that it's going to be probably something along the lines of their fitness thing. I don't know if they'd be showing a new console at this point.
If Nintendo's really forward thinking, and I hope they are, is that this thing is going to be completely platform agnostic. So, for example, WWDC, which is something I'm sure we're going to talk about in passing, is coming was just Monday, right? And one of the things one of their big initiatives is the health initiative. So it would be great if Nintendo tied into iOS, if they tied into Samsung and their health kit, they tied into everywhere across the board. I don't care what you have. Nintendo cares about you getting healthy.
Well, here you remember that they were talking about moving to other platforms, but they weren't. They explicitly said you're not going to see Mario on an iPhone or an Android device anytime soon.
But maybe you'll see Wii Fit Trainer lady.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, you don't have to move your franchises over to get yourself onto another platform. You just have to take I guess your services and move them over, and that's exactly what we're looking at with our fitness initiative, right? We're taking a new service and moving it to a new platform.
Before I get to the next part of what I expect and sort of I'm really curious to see, I want to welcome Eric. We got a question for you.
Yes,
Eric,
you.
Start you off.
Hi.
We got a question specifically for you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jace at the side says, so do you like the trailer for NBA 2K15? And since you're a sports guy, we decided to throw that over to you and wait till you got in here.
Oh yeah. No. The 2K series has really stepped up. Their gameplay for one. The graphics engines that they've started using with the 14 series, 2K14, which was next gen. It looks fantastic on the Xbox One. Absolutely unreal. And I've actually seen it on the PS4 as well too. So I've seen the trailer, and it looks pretty good. I'm not a huge basketball fan myself, but I will be watching the Heat and the Spurs game 1 tonight. But that's just kind of for work. Sports games in general, they get me hyped up because I like the interaction of playing with people online. Specifically, that's why I like FIFA. That's why I was so addicted to FIFA for so long. Because I don't play soccer in real life. I grew up not playing soccer, not watching soccer, but I grew accustomed to and developed a certain loyalty and affection for the sport just by playing FIFA online.
Really? Yeah, I've always been away from sports games, more just because I end up going out and playing the sports if I'm going to do it. But do you play actually any sports?
Well, I grew up playing. I played hockey my whole life.
Okay.
And so that was 19 years I played pretty competitively, and I played basketball. I played pretty much every sport: roller hockey, basketball, baseball. I played everything as a kid. But in terms of my professional, type, scholastic and competitive, it was really only hockey. That was the only sport that I really focused on. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you guys have played sports that you enjoy, but you wouldn't actually sit down and play on a video game.
I'm not really a typical racing guy, but I love Burnout Paradise. I love Forza. Basketball-wise, I'd say the original NBA Jam on Genesis was fantastic.
Game was great. Yeah.
I'm not even like a basketball guy, but I love NBA Jam.
Right.
Speaking of Burnout Paradise, every time I heard it actually play twice on 2 different radio stations the other day. Every time I hear Paradise City by Guns N' Roses, I think of that game starting up.
That's
I'm
awesome.
the only one who's that just.
You know what's worse? Every time I think of Welcome to the Jungle, I think of GTA San Andreas.
I was just gonna say, you know what's even worse? Anytime I hear any '80s song, I think of GTA.
Vice City.
Vice City. Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess Eric, just we'll get you one more. Jace has another. Just kind of in general, what do you expect from sports games at E3 this year?
Well, I don't know if any of you guys have seen any of the screenshots for NHL 15. But
yes, oh my goodness, okay, that is one sports game I am excited about.
Yeah, NHL 15 is going to revolutionize the next-gen systems for sports games. And I don't care if you're a hockey fan or not, but what they're going to be doing with the engines that they're building in to where every player's uniform individually moves differently as they're skating, their jerseys tucked in, and you'll see it untucked from their pants as they're it's supposed to be crazy, and the puck engine too is also
surfaces have their own if there's a cut in the ice, a puck may skip along it when it hits it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's almost fucking real. I don't know how much more closer you could get. And all the boards, even the boards, the way that they bounce differently in different arenas is going to be built into the game. So the puck plays differently off the boards, in different arenas. It's crazy.
It's going to be unreal. It is definitely a next-gen going to be a next-gen experience for a next-gen system. I think that's, you can improve graphics on anything to make things look better for a next-gen. But if the gameplay doesn't represent what that system can do for that generation, I don't think it's truly a next-gen game. But I think NHL 15 is going to be exactly that for sports games.
Yep.
I'm glad you guys are talking about EA, because most podcasts aren't really, most typical gaming podcasts aren't guys who are really into sports. So I never actually get to hear about what to expect from the sports franchises at E3. So it's actually interesting to hear this perspective for once.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year for sports.
Yeah, it's true, because even as someone I don't play sports too much, sports games too much as well, but I do have friends. But it is a different kind of that I learned even from the tournament that I put on. That it's a completely different community from what you'd expect to be. Um, just your gamers, I guess. They're just a completely different community, but they're still very enthusiastic about their games that they play, and they have their own online presence, their own just a whole experience going on. And it's, as I said, from the tournament, it was completely new people. I'd never seen at any of my tournaments before, right?
Right.
Crazy question. Are there going to be any extreme sports games at the show, or is that just a dead genre?
No, I think there's actually. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I think there's an X Games game coming out.
Because I wasn't super into skateboarding, but I actually really like the skate series. The customization.
Yeah, I absolutely adored the skate series.
I mean, me and Brody were talking about this earlier. That like a good game transcends its genre and the franchise it's attached to. So if you're not into Batman Arkham Asylum is a game that you would play anyway. If you're not into Marvel, Lego Marvel is a game you would play anyway. Like that's how I felt about EA Skate. It was just the controls were that down, and like the world, it's your skater in there making the movies. It was a really good thing.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing is I tried to skate when I was a kid, and now I've really gotten. I think it's just there's a lot of bad apples out there, but it's a lot of times I haven't had a positive view on the skating community in general per se. But yeah, you're right. The skate games, I'm still super. I like the first one, to be honest, the best out of all three of them. Maybe the second one too, but they were so. As you said, they transcended the genre and it's the community itself. But it was a good experience, no matter what your interests were.
What were you saying, Eric, about the X Games? And
yeah, I thought I had seen something that an X Games game was coming out that was going to be like a hybrid of snowboarding and skateboarding in the same game.
It's just like something big from like EA or something like that, or like a smaller publisher.
I don't know if I don't think it was EA. I think it might have been. Well, it definitely wasn't Activision. Maybe it was Activision. I gotta look it up here. Hold on. I'll find out what it is and then I'll let you know once I.
All right, cool.
Hey, Brody.
Yes.
Brody, check the chat.
Check the chat.
Oh, anyway, so back to the Nintendo thing I was talking about earlier. The other thing I expect them to unveil, and they pretty much said as much, is we're finally going to get to see their version of Skylanders, which is going to tie into the next Smash Brothers, they're saying, right?
The next Skylanders. Yeah, I've never played the Skylanders game.
But you could imagine like a bunch of little, like, you know how they have all those little trophies and tokens that you unlock in.
You said the next Skylanders is going to tie into the next Smash Brothers.
No. Their version of Skylanders.
Oh, gotcha.
So they're little plastic toys with the NFC chips inside, and it's going to tie directly into the next Smash Brothers game. So maybe you'll have a little Mario you put on your Wii U gamepad and you power him up, and then maybe you can put him into another game and power him and bring over his stats there. Or maybe there'll be like little, you know how they had the gallery that you would like unlock of different trophies.
Actually, I'm gonna pull one over here and see if they've heard this, because I actually didn't hear this. I want to get their thoughts on this.
No, you didn't hear about this?
No. Hey, Byron, before you get into that, you want to jump in here for a second? We've got jump into the podcast for a sec. We've got Byron behind us. He's one of the top in the region right now. So apparently the next Smash Brothers, you know what Skylanders is, right?
No, actually.
Skylanders is basically an NFC thing where you have these little characters, you put it onto this pad, and it puts them into the game.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen
So
that,
apparently
actually.
they're integrating that into the next Smash Brothers. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah, I think we were talking about
So are we expecting to see more characters be added later to the roster?
it could be a possibility. I actually have no idea though.
Oh, really? So it's just, when did this come up, Mandy? When did you hear about this?
They said as much during their Japanese investors call last month.
Wow,
I mean,
I'm actually surprised. This is the first I heard of it.
Iwata just straight up and said, "Yeah, we're doing some NFC toy stuff." It's called like the Nintendo figurine platform, and
I did hear about that, but I didn't know it had anything to do with Smash.
Oh yeah, like everyone's saying that the first game it's going to be implemented with is going to be the next Smash Brothers.
That's actually going to be sweet because then it's
They
great.
do have the NFC reader on the on that corner
On
of
the
the
Wii
Yeah,
pad
it's
right
built
there,
in.
yeah.
pad. Yeah.
So that'd be great to see because we have the roster we have, but it can easily it's like, hey, you want this character, just go buy this figurine for like
Yeah,
$20 or
definitely
something.
sets
right?
up a lot of DLC. But
Yeah, a
also
new
seems
way
like-
for DLC.
And it also seems like they can draw a lot of money out of us too.
Yeah, it's the money thing that they're pulling out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's a direct quote from the someone's at Nintendo France said it by accident. In an interview with the French newspaper, I'm not gonna say it. But anyway, the Stephen Boyle said E3 will be an opportunity to show the use of NFC technology on Nintendo consoles. NFC will be used in the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. So he
it's
said
guaranteed.
directly.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward then to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to the other guys and see what they think about that too. But I just wanted to hear what you thought if you
Yeah.
knew anything about it. That's
Nah,
awesome.
it's not-
All right, I'll let you get back to smashing now. Thanks for coming over.
That's not good.
Hey, quick question, guys.
Yeah.
Manny, well, maybe Manny knows, or Charles, I don't know. What's up with Iwata? He's not attending E3?
No.
Either he said he's not going due to health reasons, so I don't think they clarified whether he has the flu or if it's something more serious.
Ah, okay, because he's young. I mean, he's only in like his 50s, right? I mean, he's not that old, or early
But,
60s. Maybe?
I can understand though if he just straight up has the flu, he doesn't want to be like on a 17-hour flight and then be on stage and present or.
Yeah, it didn't actually
With
say
the flu.
what was going on with him, right?
Yeah.
Just so we're at the side, Jace has a couple.
You're so far away.
Am I?
So very far away.
Over at the side, Jace has a couple questions, so we'll just get rid of a couple. Some will come up in due time. But this one was directed directly at you, Manny, and I guess it's an easy one. When is the next Batman coming out?
It's been pushed to 2015.
Yeah, so like a bunch. 2015 is going to be packed.
Oh no, they'll
Early
just push things to 2016.
I mean, just today they announced that The Witcher is coming out on like February 22nd or something. Batman's been pushed into Q1. Everything's been pushed to Q1, right?
Division isn't supposed to be next year as well.
Q1, I think.
I don't think they just don't want to release games this year.
Yeah.
Game industry's like, we're tired.
Yeah, no more. And
Well,
on that note, he also wants to know what you guys think of a new GTA will come out this year or next.
I hear that yes, but it's not what you think. It's probably just going to be an up-resed version on Xbox One and PS4.
Oh,
Will it have heists? Maybe.
Maybe
No.
they'll add something. Maybe.
No, that's coming in 2017. Too many things that are being pushed from 2015 to 2016. So.
But I think that during the latest 2K investors call, what the head of Rockstar Studios said as much that, or someone said as much that there's going to be a new Rockstar game on consoles this year. So whether that's new or just a port,
They didn't say new IP, just.
Yeah.
they just said a new Rockstar title.
Well, that could potentially maybe be Red Dead Redemption 2 then.
Or it could
Oh,
just
yeah.
straight up be a port, a digital upres. Who knows?
I don't know. That's what I had heard. Maybe.
The original GTA high-res HD version.
Yep.
Yeah. Overhead.
Hey, it could be, right?
Oh, I got a quote. So Iwata's 54, and apparently he's been instructed by his physician not to travel overseas in the immediate future, and so he will not be making the trip to Los Angeles. So that's all they said.
So it sounds
Wait,
like
by his physician or by his PR department?
By his physician, he straight up said it. He has been instructed by his physician not to travel overseas in the immediate future.
Yeah,
So-
it could really. That's
So that's not the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed that he's well and up on his feet soon after. But
Yeah. No, that sucks.
yeah. Anyways, back to kind of what we're expecting from Nintendo. I don't know if Eric or Charles. You
I have an appointment with I have a booth tour with Nintendo, and I'm excited. Hopefully they'll have their figurines on hand so I can get up close with them and check them out.
Now, a question with the appointments. Did they give you any kind of idea ahead of what you're getting into?
Ha!
Or is it just
Ha!
go
Most appointments are this. We got straight up. You get an email. Book a registered appointment now. We have 2 unannounced AAA games.
Yep.
And then it'll be like, what? No, trust me, you want to be here.
okay.
And you have no idea. It could be Barbie Horse Adventure, or it can be like the Witcher 5 or something. You know what I mean? You have no clue.
Now the other
except for this year, for some strange reason, it's pretty easy to figure out what everything is now, because everything's been announced before E3. Why even have E3? Everything's been announced.
That's probably because the NSA is like spying on everyone's like internal documents and just leaking them.
Damn you, Snowden! Can't we have any secrets?
No, Snowden wants us to have secrets. That's why he's running from the government.
Oh man, but yeah, no. The other interesting thing that Nintendo's doing is they're now they're not. I do know they have a spot booked now. They're not doing their full out conference like they do every year, are they? Now it's just the Nintendo.
No, I haven't got any. This is like the first time like in 5 years I haven't got a Nintendo invite to their thing. I think what they're doing is in the morning they're gonna have a bunch of fans line up and try to get tickets to get into the Smash Brothers tournament later in the day, and they're giving priority to people who are wearing costumes or who are really decked out in Nintendo gear.
Yeah.
So okay, I guess for me that means I get to wake up late and have breakfast, which I'm sure is delightful. It's nice for once.
For once, but yeah, no, it looks like a lot of their focus is on the Nintendo Directs, so that people anywhere can.
I think they figured it out. Why do they need rent out a theater just for us to watch the same thing you watch on a live stream?
Well, that's exactly it. Now, even if they have the streams, like a bunch of screens at the conference, like the E3 show, with their streaming, people can still sit around and watch. It's not like you guys at the show are missing anything, right?
There have been like 3 occasions. There have been like 3 occasions when going to the Nintendo press conference was actually worth it and better than just watching a live stream. The first case was after the conference. Demo stations rose from the ground, and then you could play like I can't even remember what the game was. I think maybe it was the Zelda slashy game, Twilight Sword. It was something like that. Except the problem is there's like
Skyward Sword?
There's like 1,000 people in the audience, and there's like 6 demo stations. Okay, the other time was, I think that was the same year. No, then another time was outside afterwards. There were ladies with DSs strapped to them. Oh, the year the 3DS was announced.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
All the women came through, and you get to touch the 3DS for like 2 seconds and get to experience the 3D for the first time. And I think those are the only. Okay, there were only 3 times. Everything else you could have just done a live stream.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that kind of if that's it for Nintendo, I think that kind of moves us into the same idea that Sony's kind of moving into as well this year. We saw that Sony's doing their big presentations on in movie theaters now. I think there's like 60 or so something across North America.
They're adding new theaters all the time too.
Yeah, and that's what's it's really interesting is like either they just want to try a new model, they're branching out to reach more people, more advertising because you're going to see it at the movie theaters.
You know, it's funny. They actually spent a lot of money in previous years. Do you guys heard about this? They would let fans line up, and they would let like a certain number, like 150, 200, into the press conference, and then they would surprise you all get to go to E3 too.
What?
And and people would line up like 48 hours beforehand, and they would just sit outside the Coliseum for like 2 straight days for the chance to get into E3. There was no guarantee they were going to let you into E3, but it was like sort of a wink-wink. If you wait 2 days, we'll let you into E3. And that's actually pretty expensive. Like each E3 pass, I think Sony has to spend like $900, $1,000 on each one.
That's insane. So
and it's not a huge PR boom because it's the PR boom is only to local LA people, you know. And then maybe you have some people in the audience cheering. Like, remember when they were announcing all that stuff? Like, yeah, and we're not gonna change anything. Woo! Those are all the fans. Those are like all the 100 fans who they put up in the front who waited 2 days to get into the Sony press conference. Those are the ones on their feet cheering because, you know,
well, they're excited about anything that happens. They're just because they waited. They're in there now. But,
so I'm thinking. I'm guessing they're thinking like, well, it's not going to be that much more money, and we actually get more fans to participate, and we get more hype and more PR if we open up these theaters and just, have people wait outside of the Coliseum for 2 straight days, and then let these 50 people in.
Yeah, and I think it's either that or they got some big stuff that they want to show a lot of people this year. But I think the biggest thing is that it's an advertising thing. Again, you go to a theater, people don't even know it
It's
even
goodwill,
exists.
yeah.
You see Sony, right?
Brody, I heard what the special gift is going to be.
Oh, you did.
Because if you attend, you get a special gift.
Yeah,
People are saying it's a beta code to Battlefield Hardline on PS4.
Mm.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, again, I still haven't gotten that confirmation email, and I've checked my spam, so I'm hoping I still get it, because that would be nice to have. 'Cause again,
Can't you just
I've
log
never
into your
been to
Eventbrite and it'll be there, and you can just print out the code? I mean the ticket.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that was an option. I thought it
Yeah,
said
because
that
it's through Eventbrite, right?
Yes, but I don't.
So
think
just
you have
log
to
into
log
your
in.
Eventbrite account or the account you used, the email, and then you should maybe just be able to reprint your tickets.
All right, I'm gonna go check that out though, because it didn't tell me it created an account or anything. I just had to.
Oh,
name it.
or maybe just type in the email address you used or something like that.
Yeah, I'll do that because I really hope so, because that'd be nice. Again, the Battlefields, I've never been a super fan of. Like I play other games over it, but this one's looking super fun.
Yeah, it's
So
significantly different enough, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But regardless, I think it'll still be fun to go on a road trip up to Toronto and watch the conference that I'm going to watch anyways, but on a big screen with other fans, right? And hopefully I'll get to watch some more stuff on VR from them, because I'm like they have to announce more stuff on their Project Morpheus. Um, if anybody doesn't know what Project Morpheus is, it's their version of the Oculus Rift per se. It's a virtual reality headset that they've created, and they showed a little bit of, and they've let some people demo it. And they've heard a lot of good things about it. But that would be super freaking sweet to see. Now, Mandy, do you expect to be able to use that this year? Because I'm assuming you have
Not
a Sony.
me, not me. They straight up told us, you don't need to go to the VIP area. There's enough stuff downstairs for you. I was like, oh. They're like, nah,
Freaking sweet if you'd
don't
be
come
able
up.
to,
Yeah,
to-
we're not.
to-
I'm not Giant Bomb or GameSpot or IGN or Polygon or Joystick.
well, just beat someone up for their pass, because I want to know firsthand from you what it's like.
I doubt it,
But
unfortunately.
yeah,
I can tell you about
expect to see
Nintendo
probably-
figures.
Yeah, it's true. Which is still excited. But I hope to see more on that, and I know Drive Club was rumored to have Project Morpheus support. So I'm hoping again Drive Club gets an actual release plus show support for that, because that'd be great to get it off games already out there with support. So as soon as you pick up the system, there's already a library of games that support it, because that's kind of the issue with a lot of new tech that Sony comes out with, is that they have the cool tech but no support behind it, right?
So, are we full on in the? Are we full on in the Sony predictions now?
I'd say move on to Sony, unless you have anything left on Nintendo.
Oh no, because I want to hear Charles. Since you're not a Sony guy, what do you predict?
In what, Sony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, no idea. They'll probably come up with some new social thing. I assume that's what they do, right? That's Sony's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Social.
It's either they come up with a new social thing, or they come up with a new peripheral that nobody ever uses.
Yeah, there's always a gimmick. Every year there's a gimmick. For the last 4 straight years, there's some gimmick. And it seems mean to say that, but believe me, having been to those conferences and they hand out the 3D glasses, or you go to those conferences and
Let's hope VR is not their gimmick.
I wonder. I'm curious. I don't even mean it like in a bad way. It's just like legitimately, Sony always has some kind of angle for something they're trying to sell. So like before it was you need to buy a 3D TV, then it was you need to be off screen, then it was the Move, and then the one. Remember the Wonder Book trying to draw the 4 over and over.
I have that.
You have Wonderbook?
Yeah, I have the Wonderbook.
You are such a hardcore
Yeah.
Sony fanboy.
No, I just like to buy. Again, I've got all my Xboxes, I've got all my Wii's and my Wii U's, and I just like to buy everything.
Hey man, that's cool. Fly your freak flag proud. It's all good.
But I guess I'm just gonna quick answer this. Jace, if you didn't hear us there, he says, how long before another Battlefield game comes out? I will say
This
year,
fall.
Hardline.
October.
Yeah, in October, Hardline is a cops and robbers style Battlefield that will be out this year. So if that's what you're looking forward to, there you go. But yeah,
Sony, I'm thinking Uncharted, a new Uncharted, and
100%. And there's been a lot of talk about that recently.
and like a God of War.
A lot of people hyping it up. I don't know what else we'd see. Well, we're gonna see Last of Us remastered, that's for sure, for the PlayStation 4. That's been confirmed but not announced. That they have a release date for that, but again, still not announced. But I'm personally looking forward to Uncharted. Danny, I know you said those weren't your particular games.
Yeah, I'm not so much. I don't care so much as like the overly linear games. You know, like for me, like The Witcher 3 sounds amazing. Like everything I love about Witcher storytelling, dark and mature. Like when I think about the games that get me excited, it's open world / sandbox titles. You know,
Yeah,
even like moderate. What was that?
No, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, I thought Eric. Even like moderate titles, like something like Marvel superheroes. It's just like a little mini New York, and you get to run into Lego dude. Totally, that's my bag.
Yeah, well,
you know what's weird though? Like, I'll just say in general though, I think I just kind of prefer Microsoft first party to Sony first party. Like when I think about it, I prefer Halo to Killzone. I prefer Forza to Gran Turismo. And I prefer Gears of War to like Uncharted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
and I'm sure you're the opposite for like valid reasons. It's cool.
I like the first Killzone, and I overall I like the Halo series better than the Killzone series. Those went downhill pretty fast. But the Halo series I'm looking forward to, and actually we'll hopefully see another one I think next year. Again,
they're probably going to show if we're jumping around a bit. They're probably going to show like a real substantial gameplay trailer for Halo 5 this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, guaranteed. For sure. Because I thought it was originally supposed to come out this year.
They've backed.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the big trailers that you're anticipating seeing?
Just in general, the biggest trailers I'm expecting is the next Zelda. Whatever the Gear of War project is that new team is working on.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 2. I can already imagine like the Kanye West song they're going to play over the dubstep.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to do anything with Assassin's Creed Unity?
Oh yeah, that's going to be Ubisoft's like whole thing, right? And then that's what Ubisoft does is like they have their thing at the Ubisoft press conference. They show like the CG trailer and the story trailer, and then later at that night, the guy goes over to Sony and then he plays it on stage.
Wow.
That's usually how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I remember last year.
I've never been to an E3, so I don't know. I want to go to one bad though.
I remember last year the thing broke and started hitching midway through. It was just
I was watching it live. Last year was a shit show, dude.
Oh, you should have seen it. I was close enough to see the look on his face, and it just slowly as he just went.
Yeah.
And eventually, when the thing finally broke and they cut away from me, he just went.
Yeah.
And he just walked off the stage.
Yeah, it was like an old school like Nintendo game freezing, and you're like frantically like just looking at the screen with your controller, just hoping. You're like, okay, it's not really frozen. It's just going really slow. But yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of goof-ups last year. Like, remember that time?
Remember, it was like Sony went first, and like they had mad like something fucked up with one of their discs. I think that was playing whatever. I don't know. And then everybody was like, "Oh my god, that was horrible." And then Xbox, and then Microsoft was after them, right? It was Microsoft went after Sony
No,
last
Microsoft was first. They're in the morning, but I don't even know what you're talking about. Like they were gonna show like a
year.
battlefield or something, but there was like silence. Remember?
Yeah, the audio cut out, and then it went. It was like It was like all glitchy and like it was going all nuts, and everybody was like, "Oh my god! Like what a shit show!"
And the
And
guy was gonna walk off stage. Like,
You're
okay,
like,
I guess we'll show it later. Like, no, go back out. We're doing it now.
yeah, I remember watching, like, I forget what website I was watching through. Might have been IGN or something like that. But they had a little chat bar on the side, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, PS4 for the win!" Blah, 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 like, fuck Microsoft, it blows. And then like right after, like Sony's like presentation got all fucked up too. It was just it was just awesome actually to kind of see.
Yeah, I think as long as a company, I think it'd be fine if they just say, hey, I guess we got some work to do. People will be less like.
It's
oh, gosh.
Let me put it this way: when you're on like broadcast television and you're showing you're like not only just to us who know better, but to the entire world, and it's that's like egg on your face. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, no, it's true. But yeah, with besides Uncharted.
Big trailers for sure. I think it's gonna be we're gonna see Star Wars Battlefront, and that's gonna be massive.
Yeah.
And what was the other big EA one? We're gonna see Far Cry 4 for sure at Ubisoft. That's gonna be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. I'm sure we'll see something for the crew as well too. That RPG driving game, action driving game.
The Division. They're gonna have to show us more of the Division since they pushed it to 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but yeah,
wait.
Yeah,
the Division was like the whole big thing last year.
Yeah, now it's 2015, man.
Oh my god! So they get to
everything
do
is 2015.
Yeah, they're not releasing any games this year.
No, it's all 2015.
Did
The
they?
game you wanted, 2015.
Yeah, great.
Everything.
Just name it. Random game. Name it. 2015.
That's so.
Wait, that game you bought last year is getting re-released in 2015.
Yeah.
They're coming to your house. They're taking it. They're wrapping it up, and they're gonna give it back to you.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, what else? EA. I know there's one more big thing. Like so obvious that we're missing about EA. It's gonna be obviously the next Battlefield, and then Battlefront, the Star Wars game. But there's like one big one. It's so obvious. It's eluding me. No one knows. Oh, Dragon Age.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, Dragon Age, what, Inquisition, right?
Yeah, that's finally coming out.
2015?
Oh, was it coming out 2015? Was it pushed? I would believe you if you told me that.
Let's see. Hold on.
That one is actually still 2014.
All right.
It'll be pushed. They'll announce it at E3 that it's getting pushed to 2015.
So what the fuck? So is that gonna be now? Okay, so is that gonna be Square did Dragon Age, right?
No.
No, that was BioWare.
BioWare. Okay, so what's Square Enix gonna be doing?
The rumors that they might show off the next Deus Ex, like for the first time.
Really? So
Yeah.
there's gonna be it's gonna be Final Fantasy free probably.
I think they're doing a new Theater Rhythm. You know, the musical game. There might be another 15 demo.
Oh
or trailer.
my god, they're doing that again?
Yeah, like another Theater Rhythm. They just like announced it today.
God, why?
Huh.
Oh man.
There might be another Hitman. They announced a new Hitman game, but who cares? It's free to play.
Actually, since we're talking about games we're looking forward to, I got a buddy here who's looking forward to. What game are you looking forward to?
So did you guys see the news today about the Persona Q coming out in Japan and them asking for no spoilers at all, being on any social media whatsoever?
Yeah. How are you not on any social media?
Well, that's the thing, right? Is like, how are they going to do it? It's like Game of Thrones spoilers. How are you not going to get it spoiled? But
Yeah.
Atlas put a big thing out today saying that no spoilers on any social media. So it's going to be pretty crazy.
That's weird. That sounds so strange. I don't think Aram, who's like the former PR head who went over to Sony because he's a big shot now. It's just weird. I don't know if he would ever say that.
No, I think that they're saying no spoilers on
Like in
social media
jokes,
so
like-
that people would actually spoil it more.
Okay, if they're doing it tongue-in-cheek, I can believe that Atlas does that. Atlas has a weird
Like
sense
a
of humor.
reverse psychology thing.
Actually, Atlas has a really weird sense of humor.
It
Like,
could be.
Like when we settled on an E3 appointment, like all they sent back was like this image that said the contract is sealed. It's like this weird. I'm like, okay, Atlas.
Yeah,
Atlas is weird. So if they're joking around, I would believe
this
that. If they're
actually.
serious, that seems a bit off from what their character is.
They just mail you a finger.
The contract is sealed in blood.
You get like a severed
pretty
ear
cool, though.
in the mail.
I like how Atlas is starting to take North America more seriously because they said, what was it, four new titles in the next year and a half? Like 4 Persona titles, not just Atlas titles, like Persona titles coming to
Hey,
North
it probably
America.
helps that they have that Sega money to back them up now.
Yep.
Because Index wasn't doing very well for a while, so now they actually have like that Sonic money to bankroll all the Atlas games we actually care about.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, it's good though. They have a huge following. At least I know here in Ontario, the following for Atlas is huge. There's a huge community for it here, so
Yeah.
pretty excited to see what they're going to come out with really soon.
Yeah, over at RP Gamer, like 2 of the most beloved companies that on the forums, on the sites that we interact with is Xseed and Atlas. Those are like the fan darlings.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for your opinions. That's all I wanted to say.
No problem.
Thanks.
Woo! Go Atlas! Woo! I feel like I should be drinking, Brody. I mean, you're at the bar, you're hanging out and having fun.
Well, I got my water right now, but yeah, fucking you should come here. Just fly out. We'll do the podcast straight from Jack's.
Yeah, we'll actually have a round table.
But yeah, the one I'm on Square. Right? Oh, I got one right behind us. Perfect.
Oh wow, we forgot. That's what I forgot from EA. They're gonna show off They're probably gonna show off the Sims 4 and all of their all of their new sports games.
Oh, cool! A new Sims.
Yeah, Sims 4.
Wow, is that gonna be a complete failure too? Or
No.
It's going to support VR, obviously.
But yeah, from EA, we forgot to talk about. They're gonna probably show off the next FIFA, the next Madden, the next NFL, and the next NHL.
I saw a screenshot from the new Madden, and it looks really, really good.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if EA's next mandate would be something VR related. Be like every game must have VR support.
I would hope so. I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, and then like all of the experiences are extremely jarring because they do it wrong.
Yeah, and it ruins everyone's perception on what VR is.
That would be that's so EA.
Now, man, I don't know if Jace has another question at the side there. I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, but when Star Wars comes out, will they make a game based on the movie?
That's my. You might as well be asking, is the sky blue? Absolutely. There's gonna be. Are you kidding me? There's gonna be an Angry Birds Star Wars episode 8 or 7,
Oh,
whatever.
great!
Absolutely. You better believe it. And not only that, though, there's gonna be a game based on all of the side games too. I mean, the side movies.
Okay.
Disney
there's
is
a lot
gonna
of
milk
games
that
coming
cow.
out, isn't there?
They're gonna
Oh, yeah.
milk it so there's no milk left in that thing.
And then they're gonna keep milking it for another 3 years.
It's gonna be just dust coming out, and they're just gonna keep milking it.
Pretty much.
People would still buy it.
There's got to be something there. But yeah, as for other games, I can't even really think. It's just my big one that I'm looking for really is Smash Brothers and The Division, but those aren't till later. So
Yeah, let's just go wide. Anything at all. We were talking about this before the show started. Is that Charles? You said this is going to be the first E3 you might actually have to pay attention to in some respect.
Yeah. So I said that because I'm primarily a console gamer, or not. Inverse. I am primarily a PC gamer. I just bought a console. And yeah, I just didn't care about E3 because most of the stuff didn't directly pertain to me. / I'll find out about it when it actually matters. But apparently, according to Manny, it's indirectly important to me.
Oh, absolutely. Because ever since like the last few years, and like the last gen consoles ran too long. You know, Xbox 360, PS3 is still running a little bit too long. Everything, if it's from anyone that's not Sony first party or Microsoft first party, it's gonna be on or Nintendo first party, it's gonna be on PC. So you name it, the next Batman PC, the next Shadow of Mordor, it's gonna be on PC. It's gonna Far Cry 4, everything from Ubisoft PC, everything from EA PC, everything from 2K PC, like you name it. It is all gonna come to PC, and not only that, it's probably gonna look better and it's probably gonna play better.
Mm-hmm.
And even like last year when they had the Sony indie stuff, they used to say like coming, like they announced a whole bunch of games exclusive first, or like console exclusive for the PS4, console exclusive, timed console exclusive PS4. Like those are the wordings they use, either timed console exclusive or console exclusive. Sort of like the PC is the neutral ground. Sony only cares about whether Sony and Microsoft only care about whether your game is on the competitor's platform. They don't care about the neutral ground for the PC. Even Forza Horizon 2 is coming to the PC.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because you gotta think that's still technically a competitor, but I think I guess they're right, kind of that PC's kind of in its own kind of area.
Yeah, it's like a neutral territory.
It's not directly competing. You know, the PC gamers are gonna play PC games no matter what. But the people that are buying consoles are buying it for the ease of just buying the console, having it there.
Absolutely. If you're predisposed to like get the best graphics card to play The Witcher 3 or like Shadow of Mordor or Batman on the high settings, there's no way we're going to convince you to play it on PS4 because the controller flashes.
Yeah. Exactly. You're not getting a console anyway.
And you can't do that to indies. Like there's no indie in the world. Like I think Adam Boyce, who's over in charge of the indies, he knows better. But like, could you imagine if like Team Meat or Supergiant Games said to them, you could only release this on PS4? Absolutely not. Indies make their money by spreading their small games as far and wide as they possibly can. I know they only charge like $15 to $10. So how do you make your money? You put it on iOS, you put it on Android, you put it on Windows, Macs, and Linux, you put it on PS4, you put it on Vita. That's how they make their money. They have to do it as far and wide as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Just aside there, Lana says, "Hi guys from Russia. Hey, such funny." So hi Lana.
Hi, Lana.
Russia there.
Hi, Lana.
For joining in.
Very time difference.
For anybody that
Yeah, Lana must be really tired.
Or just waking up.
Or just getting up.
Yeah, just getting up.
Here, let me see.
I was gonna say also, anybody joining.
Siri, what
joining
time is it in Moscow?
Yeah, but that's one side of Russia. Russia's really big.
Fine, I'll say this, what do I say?
Say
What's
St.
the east side of
Petersburg.
Russia? St. Petersburg is in the same area, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, kinda. So
Wait, isn't the other half near Japan? Should we just do Japan time?
yeah,
Fine.
just you can.
What time is it in Seoul? Or either way, it's the morning.
It's
the
either
morning.
late night or early morning.
Yeah. But hello. Anyways. And I lost my kind of train of thought there.
Oh, I noticed no one said anything. No one's pumped at all for Assassin's Creed, the next Assassin's Creed or Far Cry.
Assassin's Creed. Now I haven't seen too much on it. They're doing their yearly thing on that, right? So it's
This one is going to be set in the
Unity
French Revolution.
It's the new one.
Yeah, French Revolution. Apparently multiplayer.
And
multiplayer.
I'm pretty sure it's Far Cry 4, and that's going to be in the mountains.
Yeah, in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as for Assassin's Creed, what like multiplayer only, kind of like Brotherhood, or?
From what I understand, there's going to be two versions. The one that was leaked, I think, is last gen only, and then there's another one that's going to be next gen only.
Okay. I've heard that Unity is built. Oh no, sorry, that's their Unity. Isn't that their new engine that they're using?
Unity? No, I can't imagine Ubisoft using Unity.
Oh no, I thought. Okay, so yeah, no, it's Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes. I was about to say they're not switching to Unity.
Isn't it Unity? Isn't that the game name?
Ubisoft is making indie titles, and they switched to Unity.
Yeah, and I got confused for a second. I looked up and there's a TV above.
Yeah, it's confusing. Unity is like the new indie darling.
And a bunch of me's just started walking around on the TV above me. I just heard this walking. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, so Ubisoft's new tactic is to just split all of their developing divisions into like 40, and then just release early access indie titles.
Yeah. That they're taking over Unity. Yeah, you're right. During the French Revolution, and it's a next-gen game.
Okay, so there's another one that's last gen only.
Yeah, this one
Or
has been built from the
cross-gen.
ground up as a next-gen game.
Yeah, okay, good. We never asked Eric. Eric, do you have any predictions for E3 in general, or any wishes, anything like that?
No, honestly, this isn't the first year where I'm kind of just open to, whatever kind of comes, kind of comes.
Yeah,
It's weird
I'm the
because
same way. So much
for,
has been announced already.
for me, I'm kind of excited just to see what they're going to, because it's the first year of this next generation, right? So they've got to have some other stuff up their sleeves where they're like, hey, this is what you're going to be seeing coming out on this. Like it's
This will
I
be coming out
expect-
next holiday, 2015, until we push it to
Yeah.
2016.
But I still expect to see a lot of new IPs that we haven't even heard of yet. That haven't.
That's wishful thinking.
Yeah, that's really wishful thinking.
Well, especially from Microsoft, like they've. I almost
They
seen
might do something.
A couple things. I guess it's apparently rumored that they're going to have the next Rise to be shown.
Wait,
obviously Halo.
Yeah, but that's not new IP though.
No, sorry, not new IP. I'm just saying like there's they've got to, because besides those though, like I haven't heard much else.
Forza 2 sounds awesome. I really liked Forza Horizon. I think that game was really underrated. They took the car part really seriously like a Forza game did, but everything around it was fun and vibrant and had great music, and it was fun open world and nice multiplayer. And I'm just thinking like that, but bigger and set like in South Europe. Sounds awesome. The only disappointment, I'm really kind of bummed out about this, is that it's also going to be in the 360. And the reason why I'm sad about that is because I could just imagine if they didn't have to worry about last gen, how much bigger and more expensive they could have made Forza.
Right, well, that's what they do with Horizon 3.
If we get one.
But it's the fact that Xbox conference they're calling it Game On. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of games.
Yeah,
Prediction,
because
my prediction: TV.
Just TVs.
TV.
Oh yeah, that was their conference.
Yeah.
For their Xbox One, yeah. I don't know, but again, I hope it looks like every company right now is like Sony's taken a huge great turn in the past year. You look at Nintendo starting to make some smarter decisions, listening to their hardcore fans and those details. And then we've seen Microsoft make some turnarounds. You even see the Xbox with the Kinect list now. You can buy it soon.
Does it still work?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I really do think this is Sony's conference to lose.
Well, it's
because the other two are like picking up from their their big mistakes.
Slack, yeah.
So if Sony looks bad at coming out of this E3, it's because they messed up.
Yeah. So it's Sony's in a good spot right now, but I think the other guys are noting this, and that's why we're hopefully seeing a lot of good turnarounds and decisions to be made that are good on our part. Yeah.
I heard some wild rumors, like this is like some wild prediction that the thing's been rumored for a long time is an Apple TV or Amazon TV style Xbox 360. No disk drive, but sort of this small thing that plays Netflix and Amazon Instant Video, and you can download Xbox 360 games. And you could probably, for $99, that's the thing people have been talking about for years, and maybe this will be the time for them to do that.
It might be. If they've got something up their sleeve, I'd say it's the time to use it, really.
Yeah, because I could easily imagine just, like, especially with Xbox games with Gold and they're giving out those free games all the time, I could easily imagine just having a 360, a small little puck that's an Xbox 360, and then just sort of keeping a little hard drive underneath it and just using that to play my old Xbox games.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But again, if they're not going to announce a crap ton of games, that'd be the thing that they need to do. Something needs to come out of it because they're playing catch up again right now.
I sent Eric something since he loves Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm.
What is it?
What did you say? What did you send?
A collector's edition pre-order for Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call.
Oh yeah.
And
real quick here, let's see. Oh, only 5,000 units, and they're selling fast. I'm sure they are.
What's that for? Sorry.
Nothing. Because we were joking about what Square Enix is gonna have to show. He's like Theater Rhythm. Oh.
Yeah, the Theater Rhythm is just garbage. I own like pretty much all of the music from Final Fantasy, but like I don't understand why you wouldn't just listen to it instead of like wanting to play a stupid game about hitting the right notes to make the music. Like I don't know. It would be sick to have the like orchestral music incorporated into like Guitar Hero. and
Violin hero, cello hero.
Yeah, right. Like harp hero.
Can you imagine the peripherals?
Yeah, harp hero would be
That's a
nuts.
bastard. That'd be funny. This aside, Jace has a question. Will there be a sequel to Watch Dogs? And I think I heard something about that.
Shouldn't they wait to count their chickens until after they hatch? I'm hearing a lot of negativity about Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
I just
it's not the
bought
revolution
it.
that we thought it would be.
It's not that good.
It's good. It's a good game. Like it's good to pick up and play, but I think the issue is that it got way overhyped and shown to be something that it wasn't. They didn't meet. They kind of pulled a Peter Molyneux in a sense that know they had this grand vision of what it should be, and everyone was on board with that, and it fell short. And that's what happened with Watch Dogs. It's you can do the things you were supposed to do, but it didn't feel as grandesque and as dynamic as I think it should have been. I can go and stop a crime that just started up in the corner, but it feels like just a side mission or one of those things that happen in these sandbox games. Like it wasn't something that happened based off the characters. It was just a random event, and it wasn't as intertwined with the city as I thought it would be, right? But we'll see if they can actually fall through and do what they wanted to do with it. I can see them doing a sequel, as long as they make it truly next gen. The thing is, that's the other thing is it was not a next gen game by any means. And one more thing I wanted to touch on then before, unless there's anything else you guys had to, is Valve. Valve's Steam boxes were supposed to be out. Now, does Valve have a do you know how big their section is this year, Manny?
I don't think they've ever had a section, to be honest.
Or are they not going to be? I thought they were for some reason.
You can find out right now if you go to e3expo.com. They have the full exhibitor list.
Okay.
Including the show floor map. You can see where every booth is, every meeting hall. You can see exactly who's going to be at the show. I can pull that up for you guys. But yeah, okay. e3expo.com, and just right on the side they have exhibitors.
Okay.
That's maybe something to look for when someone's talking too long.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll look for that there to see what it is. But I would expect to see something in the next little bit about their Steam boxes, because it's been what now, a year and a half or so.
Didn't they delay the controller until like 2015?
Well, they delayed the controller because they were doing some. Was it 2015? Did they say?
Everything is 2015.
Everything.
2015 is going to be the most amazing year ever. It's going to be like Back to the Future. Hover cars and tie places. It's going to be amazing.
It's literally, yeah. I was hoping to see a little bit more, or maybe because we do have a couple of them. Aren't there already some that you can get? It's just it hasn't been a full out, ensemble of what we thought it would be.
But I think maybe it's a mistake to think of the Steam box as a console. It's just a living room PC in like a fancy shell.
If you're trying to target the console people, the people that would put a console in place of that.
I don't know who they're targeting. Right? I honestly don't know who they're targeting with that machine. I really don't.
And that's almost an issue, right? If you don't have a target demographic, who's going to...
That's what I really wonder.
But, I mean, like, I'd be interested in... Because I want to update my PC, but the thing is, at this point, I don't know, exactly. I don't want to spend the time. Like, it's a lot of work to do it. Get all my stuff moved over, especially for someone if someone doesn't know what they're doing, to get everything moved over, and build a PC, find the parts that you need to work together. It's a lot of work. If I could just buy a box, have it over and done with, this is a powerful PC that I want, I'd do it, because I do need to upgrade. And I feel like that's kind of what maybe like a console person is, or someone getting into PC gaming, making that transfer over.
I'm sure if somebody's getting into PC gaming, though, there's all sorts of resources online, and people will help new people get PCs. Like, go on Reddit and be like, hey, I'd like to get a like gaming PC. This is my budget. What do you guys think? And they'll probably respond with like everything they need.
Oh.
So
Or you can just buy a console and get a Mac. Call it a day.
yeah, and spend 5 times the amount of money.
And have a computer that lasts like 6-7 years and still runs amazing. I am podcasting from a 2007 iMac.
My 2007 laptop works, sorta.
And you want to know something? My iMac still has resale value. I could probably get $500 for this easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you buy Macs. That's why so you could sell it later for lots of money.
It's the same reason why you buy a fucking BMW or a Mercedes. Because you can drive the piss out of it for 80,000 miles, 5 years, 6 years, and resell it for half of what you bought it for.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I would still buy like a 1980s like Porsche. I don't care how much. Those things were awesome.
Dude, the 944s, like if you take good care of those, they run forever.
Those are like my favorite Porsches.
Yeah, dude, I was actually behind one today, a red one it was nice, looked good.
Hey, welcome to Car Talk. Today on PR, we'll be talking about.
All right, well, I'm gonna drop some more games. Did you guys see the trailer for Mortal Kombat 10?
Oh yeah.
Also coming out in 2015.
I didn't see it.
It was just a CG trailer. Don't worry about
it. If we don't say when it's coming out, it's probably coming out in 2015.
Yeah. And, it looks like it's gonna have if the trailer has any hint at what the game is, environmental assist, which is gonna be cool to refresh the system or the franchise. So that'd be good. And there was Project Beast, I think it is, from Sony. I don't know if anybody knows anything more about that, but I've seen it and it looks sexy as fuck.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought it looked
No,
really nice.
It's fine. It's just one of those things where like when I see Dark Souls in motion and people go like, "Oh my god, I don't get it. I just don't get it."
Yeah, I remember you saying that about when the first Dark Souls. You're like, you just didn't understand.
That's okay though. I mean, there's something like they're just like some actors that everyone finds attractive or super sexy, and you look at them, you go, "What?" Her?
Oh yeah, I hear you on that one. Yeah.
So
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, like I watched the snippet of footage and I'm like, really? But I don't know. There's something there that I just don't see, or maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see more about that coming up, and hopefully also the Order 1886. We saw a little bit from a Twitch stream recently, but I'm sure we'll see some actual
push to 2015.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly.
No, I think it actually was officially pushed.
It actually is pushed to 2015.
That was not a joke.
Everything is literally 2015. And what happened to Project Spark? Wasn't Microsoft's Project Spark supposed to?
It was like build a city with your Kinect.
Yeah, you can build things. It was kind of like their Little Big Planet taken to the next level, right? It's got.
Man, I forgot that even existed. Do you think Sony could bring that back?
Sony, Microsoft.
No, do you think Sony could bring back Little Big Planet? Because I forgot that even existed.
Little Big Planet. I'm sure. Well, it's.
Or is it too soon for Little Big Planet?
No. Media Molecule is not going to be at E3 from what I've heard.
All right, so no Little Big Planet then.
So no Little Big Planet. I'm sure we'll see something in later times, but not at the moment, no.
Brody, what's Valve's like official company name? Because sometimes you need to go like their official U.S. name to find them on the directory.
Valve official name, isn't it just Valve Corporation?
Yeah, it
is.
Okay.
It's Valve. And they don't have a booth at E3 or even a meeting room.
They don't. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
because sometimes if you look like Atlas, it's actually Atlas USA, or you know what I mean, or NISA's like Nippon Ichi America.
Oh, and you've seen Valve. They're also still working on their own VR stuff now. I don't know if you've seen the picture recently of their last, like the newest update to their VR headset. But it kind of looks like a polka dot bikini. I'm gonna see if I can do a screen share here to show everybody. Let's see if this works. I will share my entire screen. Yes. Ooh.
Oh, while you're trying to do this, while you're trying to summon Infinity. Oh, there it is.
So yeah, that's their updated headset right there. The dots are used for head tracking.
They're also used for style, apparently.
Yes. But it's kind of the same sense of Project Morpheus, with the light bar, you know.
Oh, if anyone's interested in Witcher 3, apparently Good Old Games has it on pre-order, 10% off. But if you own,
you're spoiling the news, man.
if you own Witcher 1 or 2, you get 15% off, and if you own both of them on GOG, you get 20% off.
Okay, well, Manny wanted to talk about the CD Projekt Red at GOG conference last week. So we'll
so are we heading to the news?
That's a good transition into it.
Oh no, I just saw it come up on Twitter, so I figured I'd mention it.
Oh yeah. So today,
Manny,
just a few hours ago, GOG and its parent company CD Projekt Red had a press conference in Santa Monica, and they showed off a brand new trailer for The Witcher 3, all in-game footage. It looks fantastic. That's available now. They announced the release date, which is refresh my memory since you're looking at there, Charles.
February 24th.
February 24th.
2015.
They announced the collector's edition and what comes in the standard edition. So in the collector's, you get this giant statue made out of polystone of Geralt fighting a griffin. I posted a few pictures of that. We talked about that earlier.
Yep. It's on Manny's Instagram.
It has a huge art book, soundtrack, a medallion made out of metal, steel case, maps, you name it. It's like this full kit and caboodle. How much is the? I never got a price. How much is the collector's edition?
Yeah, I'm wondering about the price right now.
I don't know. Hold on.
I know the standard game is $60 if you pre-order it somewhere else, but if you pre-order from GOG to get the digital version, like he said, you get discounts, loyalty discounts.
Yep.
That's kind of nice, actually. That's pretty sweet.
And not only that, though, they also announced a while ago. They announced that they were making a board game called the Witcher Adventure Game, and it's this like really cool board game, like really heavily inspired by the world of The Witcher, and is really faithful to it. And they announced today that it's going to be also on PC and Windows and Mac. So they're making a Windows Mac version that's going to be online multiplayer, hot seat, single player mode. It's going to go into beta pretty soon, and they announced that they're going to do that via their brand new service called GOG Galaxy. So imagine GOG Galaxy as Steam without the DRM. So
they're going to have a client then.
But they say like they never want to force you to use the client. So anything that the website will do, the client can do, and vice versa. So you never feel like you have to do it. But if you want to play online, you can install this client. They want to have very low overhead, and it's gonna let them enable new features like before on GOG, if you wanted to update your game, which is probably the worst feature of GOG. GOG was great, except for this, is that if there was an update to a game, a DRM-free game, you had to go in and download the game again. That's like the worst part of DRM-free gaming, is how manual the whole process was. Well, with this launcher now, it'll be like Steam, where you have automatic Delta updates. It'll just download in the background whenever you're ready. It'll notify you if there's a sale on your wish list. It'll notify if you have a new PM. You can chat with friends, have a friends list. So it's like all the stuff you expect from Steam, but without the DRM. And
up until you mentioned that, I'm like, what's the point? But that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Well, not only that, though, is that it also has crossplay. So, for example, if I bought the Witcher Adventure game on Steam, I can still, and you bought it from GOG, we can still play online together.
That's good. Yeah, they've CD Projekt Red has done a good job with GOG. Just making it as stripped down and bare as they can.
I like GOG, but for a while they kind of just fell off the radar for me because Humble was doing what GOG was doing, but better because I got Steam keys.
Yeah.
But this is what they needed to do to become relevant and to stay relevant. Because with Humble, I'm still stuck in the situation where I have to log in and check like I have to remember, or someone has to tweet at me that there's been an update to a game that I own of the 50, 100 games I own on Humble from various Humble bundles. And then I have to see, okay, this one there's been one update, and I have to scroll down and see which game has been updated. Then I need to re-download it. But now with this new GOG launcher and its integration with Steam, and the fact that like GOG, they love to give free stuff, and it's going to be a social service, and they're going to learn me. I mean, screw Humble Bundle. At this point, I'm just going to install the GOG launcher.
I think that client's going to be a real saving grace for them, like to pull them back onto the radar, just because.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as you said, the whole manual process. I like to make things as automated as possible. That's what
like,
my entire life is based around.
It was always this binary choice, where it's like, well, do you value convenience or do you value true ownership of your games? Do you want to really own your games? So get the DRM free, but then you have to manage and back it up, and you're responsible for it. It's your responsibility. Or do you want someone to do it all for you? You never have to think about it, but you don't own your games. So that was always the Steam, GOG, Humble conundrum. But now they took away that a whole second part of it is now convenience, ease, and it's DRM free.
Yeah, that's actually a killer price for them.
Okay, so I'm looking at eBay Games' site regarding The Witcher, because apparently they're confused as to when it's released. According to EB Games Canada, it's February 28th. But according to their website, the PC version of Witcher 3 is rated E for everyone.
No. No.
No.
I can tell you that right now. No.
I'm surprised they got away with an M rating.
Yeah, no, that's actually really funny.
Oh, so like I was saying, it's so this makes them relevant, and not only that though, they're such a good service that, like for example, when Witcher 2 like years later got a Mac version, everyone who already owned the Windows version got it for free. And I'm pretty sure once the Linux version comes out and they start doing Linux games, you'll get that for free automatically. Like when they added new soundtracks or updates or behind the scenes videos, you get that for free. And that's going to be all in this one place. This very lightweight client that works on Windows, Mac, and eventually Linux. And it all plays with Steam, so it doesn't even like. That sounds great. I mean, I cannot be happier about that. That's enough for me to go back from Humble back to GOG, who I like a lot. I mean, they're really. I almost feel bad for GOG because they're almost too nice sometimes. You know, they're almost too nice. I feel like people take advantage of them.
It almost makes me wonder because all these other companies are saying how it's getting not profitable to make these titles and all this, and then you see companies like CD Projekt Red making a AAA title that's and still running the service and still being profitable from it, even though they're not charging for all this extra stuff. You don't have to buy the DLC pack for the soundtrack. You don't have to get the bonus season pass, and they're showing that it's still it's probably not obviously as profitable, but it's still a platform that works.
So like when I talked to them today, the big thing they're trying to get across is that we're going to make a Steam-like service, and we're going to expand, and because we're finally going to have like the biggest problem with GOG and Humble is that the DRM-free versions never have multiplayer, right? So
Yeah.
even if you get a DRM-free version of a game that does have multiplayer, usually they'll strip out the multiplayer for the DRM-free part. So that just meant certain games would not go to GOG because they couldn't get the licensing for that. So this opens up a whole new avenue of games that they never could have before, that are online enabled, and they can, you know what I mean? That's a whole new slew of games.
Definitely a smart decision.
So I mean, this is a game changer for them.
Well, exactly, and I think it if not above it, but it puts them at the same level as Steam, in the sense of functionality now, because you've got that client that allows you to have your games ready there to download. You've got the online, as you said, and it's not as manual anymore as were before. Yeah, as you said, you have to download everything. Now it's yourself. Now it's there. It's ready to click. You just click a button, downloads. Well, as long as it's an intuitive UI. But.
And I love that they said we're committed to our ideal, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna expand to more platforms. We're gonna maybe one day you'll be able to play on iOS and Android versus PC, Mac, and Linux. But they have these pie in the sky dreams, but they're gonna be committed to their ideals the whole way there.
Yeah. So they're really banking on their ideals being the thing that pulls them through. That people see that, and I hope so too. Like I hope people realize that it's a better platform at this point now. Once that client comes out. than even Valve. Like, you've got your hardcore Valve guys that are like, oh, Valve is the greatest thing. When there is a lot, and I'm the same way, but there are a lot of flaws with something like Steam, right? Sorry, I should be saying Steam, not Valve. There's a lot of flaws with Steam that GOG seems to be doing right now, and that's I've never actually got into GOG because of the fact that it was all my nothing was in one spot. It's like I have to find the game, download it, and everything's in its own folder. It's in it. To me, who's a person that's always busy, I need everything organized in one list. And if when that client comes out, that's going to be huge for me, and that actually might pull me into using GOG because that'd be so helpful.
And honestly, if you're gonna buy The Witcher digital, it's buy it from GOG because you're giving the people who made this game more money. I'm pretty sure they can use every penny they can get, and
exactly, yeah.
You get a lot more extras than you would get otherwise. And apparently, like, the content is going to be the exact same whether you get on the PS4, the Xbox One, or on PC. There's not going to be any of that like pre-order here you get this hat for him, you pre-order here you get these boots. None of that stuff.
I hate that stuff.
Oh, I'm looking at the collection edition here. PS4 collection edition for The Witcher Wild Hunt, $150.
That's not bad, actually. For
yeah,
what you're getting.
It's like a 4-pound. I picked it up. It's like this heavy 4-pound statue, and it's like 10 inches tall. It's weighty and it has really good detail. It's actually really nice. It's funny. They had it in the center of this table, like where people were eating and drinking. It almost looked like a wedding centerpiece of a guy battling a griffin.
That's pretty awesome, though. Yeah, but that's good that they didn't, because they could have probably easily jacked the price up to $200, but they're keeping it affordable for everyone. Just again, they're ideals.
You got a lot less from the Skyrim $150 or more thing. And that thing was made out of plastic.
Yeah, I've always been an advocate for buying the collector's editions, but that is one I didn't get, and I'm glad I didn't, because I saw a lot.
Yeah, that was just plastic. So here you get a 250-page art book, stickers, a game map, a metal medallion that you can wear around your neck, steel book, game manual, a compendium, and a full soundtrack and a collector's box.
That's pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, so for $150, and the game itself for $60 on PS4, Xbox One, and then even cheaper if you own the other games on GOG. And oh, I forgot, if you pre-order from Good Old Games, you also get beta access to the GOG Galaxy service and to
a billion other things.
And the adventure game that I was talking about, the Witcher adventure game, was really interesting. Like, this is how you do a press conference, because afterwards, I got to talk to everyone who did the show. I got to interview the guy who's like the project lead on the board game, the entire board game project, from the actual physical board game with the pieces you can roll on the dice, to the digital versions on the tablets on iOS and Android, to the Mac and Windows version. So it was nice to just sit down and talk in detail about the thing you just saw on the screen, and to talk in depth about GOG Galaxy and their plans for the future. So if you want to see more from that, I'll be posting the audio interviews on RP Gamer. So that should be fun.
Yeah, make sure you link that to us in our Hangout as well, so that way we can send those out on our tweets as well too.
The board game looks legitimately fun. I mean, if you're the kind of person who wants to have that experience physically with people in the room, the board game looks really high quality, great printing, great cards, great little figurines. If you want the digital version on the tablet or just on Windows, it all looks good too. I mean, I was really impressed with the board game. It was fun. It was a fun press conference. So
I have to look that up. Yeah, I gotta send us links, because I wanna look that up. I wanna see that.
Not only that, though, they actually have more to show at E3 itself, because what they showed us was just like the fancy trailer and all the news about the release date and all that stuff. What they're going to show at E3 is like a full 45-minute gameplay demo where they're going to show more of the world and more of the interactions and some of the new stuff that he can do. So definitely Witcher 3 is one of my most anticipated games of 2015 and one of my most anticipated games of E3. So
yeah, it's gonna be a sweet game. Again, that's February, right?
February 22nd or 24th, right?
24th or 28th if you're EB Games.
So there you go. There's my press conference info dump.
Beautiful.
From The Witcher.
Now, I don't know if there's anything we missed, but if there is, shout it out. I'm dried up, I think, on everything I had to say. If there's anything else you guys had, then before we headed out.
Just two
E3.
quick little things. I can hit two things real fast, and then I'll leave it open for everybody else.
Okay.
It's okay. First, I'm gonna do like two Apple things. WWDC was on Monday, and Apple announced a bunch of stuff. I'll just hit the key
iOS 8, I
points.
saw, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
key
heard about
thing
that.
is that they're two gaming related things. Is that they're introducing this Metal framework,
Oh, yeah, I
which
saw that.
enables like even something like Unity to have a lot less overhead when you're interacting with the GPU and the CPU, which means games should run smoother, have like fewer draw calls, up to 10 times less draw calls, like if you're on custom engine, which means games should run better, they should run smoother, and hopefully like less battery life, you're doing less draw calls. A new operating system, a new developer language called Swift, which should also simplify things, which should also improve games. And finally, this is something they mentioned like in passing, is that now with OS 10 Yosemite and iOS 8, you can use a made-for-iPhone game controller. Like say, like I have my iPhone and I plug it into a controller. I can use it as a controller for both the iPad and the Mac now. So imagine I download a game from like I know Batman or some game from the Mac App Store or whatever. I can use my controller, including the accelerometer, the touchscreen, the joystick, the buttons, the shoulder buttons, all as a controller, an interactive controller on my Mac or
That's
iPad.
one thing I've noticed is Apple's really been pushing towards making their platform a gaming platform.
It's weird. This is like legitimately, this is like the first time you get to see the new Apple post Steve Jobs. It's like a completely different. They've opened up like within the limits of of what Apple does. They've opened up so much. So all their apps have extensions now. They have like iCloud framework that can go on Windows. They have app pickers so you can pick whatever. It's just really opened up and a lot freer than they've been in the past, and that enables them to do a lot more crazier things that we've never seen before. So if anything, what I think is they're laying the groundwork for like an Apple TV gaming machine, where with between Metal and Apple's an A7 chip and being able to use like just about anything as a competent controller, I bet you by the end of the year the Apple TV is going to be playing like GTA or something. You know, like the little GTAs they released.
Yeah, no, I've seen some of the screenshots of the from the conference. I didn't watch the entire thing, but it looks impressive, and I can see it expanding a lot further.
Tim Sweeney, I mean, like he never does press conferences. Tim Sweeney went out on stage and he demonstrated a Zen Garden and what Unreal Engine 4 can do on the A7 chip on an iPad Air, and it was actually really impressive the amount of things they could get on the screen on their little tablet using that Metal framework.
Yep.
And EA came out and they said we never thought this was possible. We put our Frostbite engine on the iPad, and we're rendering this Plants vs Zombies scene in real time.
Yeah,
so,
it's insane that what they're doing. It's just a framework did that come in iOS 8 then? Is that live now?
Yeah. Not yet. I think it's in beta, so developers can start experimenting with it and working on it.
Okay.
And I bet like in 3 months, like in September when the new phone comes out, it'll probably be ready to go.
All right. That's something to look forward then to, because it's I never took, again, as I said, gaming too soon, but if they're starting to really push for this, I'm gonna start watching that for it.
Let me put it this way: even if you don't care about Apple in and of itself, this is good for everyone involved because this pushes Samsung, this pushes Android and Google, this pushes everyone else. I mean, competition is great. If you look at the Xbox One and the PS4, how they both have free game services now. That's competition, man.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. That's good. Yeah,
competition is great.
Is always good.
So if this makes Google take this a lot more seriously and release their own like game platform and their own framework and their own like set-top box that also plays like GTA HD or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? Those kind of games that you see on iOS all the time. That's great. We all win. So that's great. So.
Exactly. One more thing.
And in the same vein, Amazon's having an event. I think next week after E3, they're gonna announce their 3D smartphone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anybody else has heard about that? But I'm really interested to kind of. I just want to get my hands on one to actually see how it works. But it's that effect that actually is working at Google now. He was at Microsoft helping design the Xbox Kinect, I think. But the guy years ago he used a Wii remote, and he had it pointed at him, and he used 2 infrared lights on his glasses, and he moved his head around, and that allowed the TV to track him and make it look as if a regular TV had 3D space to it. And that's kind of the same idea that I guess Amazon's going with. Apparently, there's like 4 cameras on each of the corners that track your head motion or your eye motion. So when you look around, it looks like you're looking into a box. So it'll be cool to see how they implement that with apps and games and stuff. And hopefully it's just not dead in the water when it comes out and people actually start to support it and it's easy to access. But that'd be really interesting.
Hey, if this becomes a big deal, next thing we'll know is like Google will be implementing 3D APIs and all this stuff.
Exactly, and again, as I said, they have the guy that first came out with that kind of technology or that idea years ago. They have him now. Like that's under Google's belt. So hopefully, again, as you said, we'll see other companies realize this is a cool thing and start.
Competition is great, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And the final thing, and I'm done, is you guys remember that game Republic? The guy Ryan Payne who used to work at Microsoft and with Hideo Kojima. Yeah. And he got a Kickstarter game for this sort of stealth game on iOS. It's if you do have an iPhone or an iPad, Episode 1 is Apple's free app of the week, so you can download the game for free and give it a shot. So that's just for anyone who has like an iPad or an iPhone. If you want to try it out, it's free.
Sweet.
Okay. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's it. All right. That's everything on mine. Now, Charles or Eric, is there anything else you guys want to shout out before we peaced out?
No. What's going on with the game club?
We're going to do it after E3.
Yeah, due to me being ridiculously busy this week, I was unable to complete my portion of it. So we're going to do it after E3, so the week after that, along with the podcast. Just for people viewing, the podcast, Ingress, the podcast is being delayed. It's not going to be next week because that's E3, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people watching the E3 conferences instead of this anyway. So we'll do a wrap-up of all the cool things that we saw during E3. We'll have an insider, Manny, because he's got a busy week ahead of him, giving us the deets on what he saw.
I don't think I'll be able to be on the show next week because I think I'll still be at the show floor.
Manny,
it's not next week. It's the week after. We're skipping next week.
He's finding a bathroom, and he's going to be on the show.
Yeah, just go to the bathroom.
We're going to be live from an E3 bathroom stall.
Yeah, no, we are missing out on next week. So next week there will be no podcast. It's the week after that we'll do our wrap-up show.
Wait, no, so not just the Gamers Roundtable. You're going to skip all of E3 too?
Yeah, we could easily do one on maybe like the Wednesday is still part of the thing. So
I say you three just do your own show, and you can just do your own impressions from what you've seen so far if you want to.
Follow me on Twitter at LeafX, and you'll find out what we're doing. I'll let you guys know once we decide. That's the easiest thing to do. Now, I don't know if you guys want to answer the questions on the side here. There's some from Jace. There was a couple I didn't know if fit in with anything, such as, will there be an Xbox 2 or a PS5? I'm going to go with no.
5 years.
Will there be another Red Dead Redemption to come out?
Absolutely.
Probably.
They're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how do you think gaming systems change over the years? Well, I'm going with they get more powerful and hopefully more innovative.
Yeah. You get people who eventually just release some sort of thing that everyone likes, and then people try to mimic that and twist it in their own way. So.
And that's what happened.
In power.
3D, man.
Moore's Law or something like that.
3D's the thing, man. Yeah, I like 3D.
All
right, we're gonna wrap her up then and say goodbye to everybody and thanks for coming out. Thanks for the awesome questions we had outside there too. Jace was killing it with there. Hello to our Russian friend as well. And we'll go down the line and say goodbye to everybody that came out. Thanks, Charles, for coming out and saying hello today.
No problem. Sorry I was so facetious for most of the episode.
Oh, that's all right.
It's all good.
And next to him, we got Manny. Manny's got a busy week next week. Follow him on Twitter. I'm sure he's going to be tweeting stuff out. He'll be at E3.
I talk too much about the Witcher thing. My bad. Next week I won't talk anything because I won't be here.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be busy on the floors of E3, running around like a crazy man. We've heard his schedule got pretty crazy, so good luck with that. You can follow him at MarinoEM on Twitter there. And sorry, I forgot to say Charles. If you want to follow him, it's at CStovetop. and his Twitch is twitch.tv/cstove. And next to Eric there, or sorry, next to Manu, we have Eric. Thanks for coming out, Eric, just in time for those NHL questions for us.
Oh yeah.
Did you find out who was doing the? Before we go, did you find out who was making the game?
It's called. Was it called Snow? I think it was called Snow.
Snow, the Triple X game.
Yeah, but it was like the last article I could find on it was from late 2013, and
maybe it got canceled. Who knows?
It might have, but it looked like it was going to be a hybrid. It was pretty much like a mountain. You were at a mountain resort, and you could do pretty much anything, any event. Like it wasn't like an event. It was just you had the mountains to pretty much ski board, snowboard, half pipe, board park, all that shit. I'll look a little bit more into it and maybe.
Okay, well, when you find it, you can also tweet it out and let us know. And if you guys want to follow him, it's Eric Miller3 on Twitter. And hopefully have an answer for us if you can't get it in the next second. And myself, once again, I'm LeafX. You can follow me at LeafX on Twitter, pretty much anywhere. And that way you'll find out when our next podcast is. But we usually do it on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EDT. You can also find us on YouTube at Gamers Roundtable Show. We're also on iTunes now. Woo! I just got to keep up with updating our RSS feed. But if you go to iTunes and just search Gamers Roundtable, Gamers Roundtable Show will pop up. We're the one without the cover art right now because I haven't updated our cover art. But we've got a couple episodes up. Subscribe to that, and any new stuff that we post up will get downloaded automatically because that's iTunes for you. Pretty sweet. But yeah, thanks for everything. Thanks for the questions. Thanks guys for coming out, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a fun E3, and as always, keep gaming hard.
Go away, squirrel! Not now.